I love it. You know, I've made so many friends and through biking that when you go to a race weekend, it's just the crack from the minute you rock up at the race village to the end.
You do your own thing. If you want to ride your bike, you ride your bike. You don't feel forced. I think that keeps it fun.
I work about 40 hours a week, which when you're training, riding, racing, it's super busy, but you've just got to do it. It's worth it.
House, when I'm home, hardly. Work, bikes. Literally all my life.
Being a privateer is hard because not only are you financially funding your race, and it's also time consuming as well, booking your own accommodation, flights and all the logistics that comes with that. You haven't got someone doing it all for you.
It can be stressful, like you're trying to sort everything out yourself and making sure that you still have the energy to race at a high level.
Ready to drop in?
As long as I finish the race, the ride, whatever, with a smile on my face, that's all I'm happy with.
Racing for Michelin, Vitus and DirtFund is DirtFund!
Biggest worry, like if I'm flying down a track and I'm thinking I've got to drive home. If I crash now, I've had it, sort of thing. So it's like, how am I going to get my van back, sort of thing? How am I going to go to work the next day?
You know, you're totally self-sufficient at the races, so you're kind of slumming it really. There's a lot to it, like it is fairly full on with the travel, it's making sure your bike's all in good working order. If you have any mechanicals, like it is up to me to sort that out.
It's hard, but yeah, it's expensive. I try to save and have a wee pot for bikes, but it's doable, but yeah, there's times where it's pretty hard.
At the end of a good race, when you're absolutely buzzing with your result and you've had a good day racing, I think it all pays off. But obviously there's bad days with that when you don't get the results you want. But yeah, when it all comes together nicely and you achieve what your goals are, I think, yeah, there's no better feeling than that, is there, for sure.
I'll tell you what's the worst thing. Changing tyres with crush cores in. And getting sealant all over your clothes. That's probably the worst thing. There's obvious struggles of financing trips and stuff. Yeah, it's worth it. I wouldn't do it if it wasn't worth
it. I'm quite lucky to, my boss is quite good with, like, if I want to take time off work, like my holidays are whenever I want to take them, sort of thing. So if I ask him, can I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off because I'm going away here? Yeah, no problem, take it.
So my full-time job is a service transition manager in financial services, which is pretty much desk-based. It's hectic in itself, so it is tough getting the balance.
Yeah, it's a fine balance, especially physically, because obviously day to day my job's quite physical. It could be doing anything from laying concrete or wheelbarrowing, and do you know what I mean? It's heavy labour, and then coming home and trying to find the energy to go and train to race bikes can be pretty strenuous at times. It's on the odd occasion you might have a week at work where you're doing something that's like a full week of like physical work, and then it comes to Friday and before you know it you're packing the van up ready to go racing, and yeah, you can find yourself entering a weekend fatigue sometimes, but you haven't got that option to take extra annual leave because all the annual leave that you've got through being employed you're using up to travel to races and stuff.
Amongst the privateers, yeah, absolutely. Like you've still got, like, everyone's in the same boat as you, aren't they? At the end of the day. But yeah, I find it as a nice little family thing. You all look out for each other. You're all helping each other with lines and stuff like that. So I find that a great part of being a privateer, because you've got everyone else is in the same boat sort of thing.
This is the go-to race meal.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely love the community vibe with mountain biking and racing. It's a massive, I suppose, part of it really. Like, you're there with other riders. I could rock up to, let's say, I don't know, Les Arcs in France, or I don't know, down to Ballyhore in Limerick, and start chatting to other mountain bikers, and suddenly I'm riding with them, and you know, you've got mates for the weekend or for the day, so you find you've a lot of like-minded people.
The people that you meet, the experiences, you meet so many people who are doing the same thing, and you get chatting, and people from all sorts of countries and backgrounds, and it's really interesting. Like, most of my friends or people I see each week it's riders, racers, people that are doing the same thing. Usually people who don't ride bikes think that when you say you're going for a bike ride, you're just like cruising along like the canal paths, and when you actually show them what you do, they're like, wow, okay, this is different. So it's good, but if anyone gets me started talking about bikes, then I think they regret it, because I just can't stop.
No, it's definitely a family feel. You all like chip in, share accommodation. If one of you bikes breaks, you help the other out. It's definitely not solitary.
You know, I grew up on my bike as a kid, but I never raced. I, you know, played basketball, played football, and I was 31 when I got into mountain biking and just was hooked completely. Like, I think within a month I was racing in the Gravity Enduro, the first one in 2012 when they brought it to Ireland. So it kind of clicked straight away, and I raced every race that season.
I think some of the best riders in the world are the ones that have actually had to work to be where they are, really, and without that I think you'd struggle for the drive and motivation. If everything was easy in life, you'd have no drive, would you? So yeah, I think having to work your way to the top is definitely more beneficial than just being given everything on a plate.
Privateer in one word.
Hectic. There's a lot to do, and there's a lot of different things to do, such as you travel, sorting the bikes out, you're washing. Although I still live at home, so I got that pretty easy. Cheers, Mum. There's a lot to do, but it's worth it.
Rewarding, you're doing everything for yourself. You're managing your training, your finances, getting yourself to the races. If it goes well, if it doesn't go well, you're in control of everything. So every race, you're obviously competing, you're getting faster, you're improving, you're progressing, and that's so rewarding.
The one thing that I love about it is the travelling. Like, I've got to ride in places I would never have even imagined visiting. So it's been adventurous. Actually, that's probably a good word. That's probably better.
Expensive. I'll put any money down to ride a bike. Any money I've got. Well, any money I have had, I've put it on bikes. So yeah, it is expensive, but it's 110% worth it. Absolutely love it.